Hello, this is the Broken Controller Show. I'm George, and this is Smite's Just a Tip mid lane. We're gonna first start off with builds. Now, you want to start out with a Vampiric Shroud into a Lost Artifact, Health, and Mana Pot. This is for most mid laner builds because the MP5s you get from the Lost Artifact are substantial in staying in lane. Now, then you want to usually go into your Shoes of Magus or Shoes of Focus, depending on your build. Then, if you're going into stacking, a Book of Thoth or a Warlock Sash is very good, especially if you don't know the mage well. But if you know the mage well, or you are building certain characters, you might want to just rush your Chronos Pendant or go straight into Spear of Magus or Obsidian Shard or a Bancroft's Talon. But if you need health later on in the game, and you do not have the time to build up stacks for the Warlock Sash, get an Ethereal Staff. The health and mana you get from it is just substantial, and you get a huge burst of damage out of it just from the health you get. And if you're going up against tanky comps, or you're a really hyper burst mage, a Soul Reaver is almost imperative, especially on characters like Scylla and Janice. But for certain mid laners like an Aphrodite or a Chunga, you would probably want to get a Soul Stone, or aggressive starts. Soul Stone and Power Pot is very a strong start and gives you a shit ton of mana sustain. And now we're going to go off onto laning. Now we're going to start off with releasing the red buff. Now usually you don't want to start tanking it, but I didn't get hit very much. And usually you want your hunter and your support to leash it to their side and then leash it over to you, so you waste less time to getting to your lane. Because of things like the Janice getting there first can be a problem, especially if you're going up against a character with a lot of clear. You might even miss some of your farm. Now I immediately use my Whirlpool to try and clear this wave. I want to clear this wave before he can, so I can reach level 2, and then rotate to the mid camps on the right hand side. The solo side mid camps are the ones you want the most, because it gives you a lot of pressure on the other mid camps as well, and laning. Because if you, with our high level clear, we're able to get here and do these mid camps before their Ymir even shows up. And their Janice really, oh, God knows where he went. He just wanted to check on it apparently, and we were already done by the time he even checked it out. Now Ymir should be following up now. Now immediately, because he showed up late and he decided to take bad positioning, we get a free first blood and mid camps, and they can't do anything about it. Now we go straight over to next left mid camps, the hunter side mid camps, which are usually the second person's farm. Now he decided he wanted to go for damage instead of actually getting the camps. But now we get to just poke him a little bit, move him around. Now I take this route just to go through his slow, just so I can get to the farm faster. It wasn't a big deal since he used most of his poke and his damage abilities to try and poke me out earlier. Now we immediately clear out this wave. Just burst it down as fast as possible so we don't lose any farm. Immediately start rushing one of the back camps. This way we could be more aggressive and go into theirs, but they still do have a Ymir. While that Ymir is really far behind, a freeze into any of their abilities can be devastating, and you really don't want to go into that unless you are a really aggressive comp. We immediately come back to mid lane and farm this out as fast as possible. The biggest thing about being a mid laner is getting that mid lane out of your way as fast as you can. If that mid lane's there, you can't do anything. Notice how this Janice is always pressed to his tower, and he's constantly trying to fight this wave while we're able to rotate around and do things. Now this Ymir finally showed up and didn't do anything. I guess everything he had was on cooldown and he must have wasted it on the wave and was coming back to farm. But since he messed up our rotation, we go immediately back to take the next wave out. Now once we're done, we're going to rotate the left lane because of how severely pushed up they are and how high level we are already. I already have ultimate, and so does Serket. So immediately start running over to left lane, using our trident to increase our movement speed so we can get over there even faster before the call even matters. I try to use my Whirlpool to clear out the wave and to hurt Apollo, which I was pretty good at. I wait for his dash, and then immediately ult and kill him. Now, that was a little bit of a suspected ult, but it did get the desired effect. And that's an early rotation, and all the camps done in the jungle, and free shoes. Now, as usual, constantly trying to clear out this mid lane first with this Scylla. Scylla's wave clear is not very good, but it's still good enough. Now, after we've done that, we want to make sure that they don't get mid camps. Mid camps is the most important thing for a mid laner to watch over. Bastet was trying to do those right mid camps. Because of our long range burst, we were able to knock it out, take her out of it, and stop her from getting it, and getting it ourselves, and putting a lot of burst damage onto her. Now, we get left mid camps for free, and Poseidon's here trying to start a fight. Now, this is what you usually want to do. We already lowered the HP of that Bastet. Now, Serket probably should have been paying attention and helping out earlier, but now we get to be aggressive. Early mid-camp fights are some of the easiest fights you can take. It puts a lot of people in weird positions, and you get free things like a Poseidon into all these ultimates. It's easy. Now, this is me coming back from earlier before in that gank. I got full shoes, and I go to the back camps first because they're up. Now, I'm going to lose a little bit of gold on some of these minions because they're dying to the tower, but I am getting the experience, and I already got the experience and the gold from the back right camps. Now, the mid camps on the right side are coming back up soon. I want to keep checking on them, but I can't check on them until after his wave's clear. Janus is missing, I make sure I call it. I make sure I put this ward down here specifically because I'm playing against a Janus. And characters with high ability to rotate, you need to ward right there. You need to ward their mid lane so you and everybody else can see that they're ulting or moving out of that lane. Now immediately we got the left mid camps and we're going straight back to my red. I don't want to get into a fight with this Janus or this Ymir without my red because that is a huge damn DPS buff. And I leave Serket to go back into her back camps, or well, she's basing now. I could have done the back camps over there, but I don't want to lose this farm. There's more experience and gold from the mid lane farm and the minions. Now I immediately start checking this red. All I see is this Janus at first, and then this Ymir pops up. He's super low, especially from all the engagements we've been getting on him. And I figured I was going to die, so I immediately wanted to get ult and put damage on him. We won another mid-camp fight off of sheer luck, but still. With a lot of these rotations, and I'm trying to dodge out some more of his watch your steps, I want to clear the wave as usual. Just constantly clear the wave, try and get as much poke as you can, and making him work. Making him try and hit me with ability. Since I'm at half health, he could probably poke me down and make me leave this lane. So I'm more on the defensive, but I'm also baiting. Because we have a Serket. And that's an easy mid lane win. For very little, and all we got is farm, and we're getting huge. We've got all the mid camps, we've got everything. And here's the problem with only warding towards the top here. Everyone rotated in. Everybody. And now I get to die for it. That's why you want to bring wards to the mid lane, to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen. Now onto ganks and rotations. Now, usually you want to make sure that you clear the wave, like I've been showing you, as I keep repeating obsessively. This mid lane needs to be gone before you do something like this. I immediately ward to know when he's about to rotate it, because I know I'm going to do it beforehand. I immediately start running over, and I try to clear these mid camps so I know when they're up or not. I didn't get the last ones. Tried in as usual. I showed you even the last time. And I go over here to search for this gank. They've been pressed up this entire time. But now they back off. That means they have it warded. So I go back. Because there's no way I'm getting that kill. None of us are getting that kill. And now I just missed the opportunity on those mids. And he's getting his red buff. Now that I know he's getting his red buff. And he probably doesn't have a ward. And he's got those mid camps. I'm going to go straight over the right lane. Just clear the mid lane again to make sure it's cleared out and I don't have to deal with the pressure. Go straight over. Neith's pressed up. She probably doesn't have it warded. Tried it again to make sure I got my moving speed. Put the whirlpool underneath her. Hit her with a couple of auto attacks and I wait for the backflip. That doesn't come. We get the kill. Now, this one's a little more complicated. This is a counter gank pretty much because I make sure I clear this wave because Janus out-clears me. He's ulting over the left lane. There's no way I'm going to beat him there. But Osiris is in a little bit of a problem. I'm immediately running over as fast as I can. Osiris is gone. Like right now. I just show up, I miss my stun, he gets killed for it. All my fault. I miss everything there. That's even worse. But now Freya's here, and we can at least fight into this at least. Except for that she dies horribly. Now, I get a that's a 2-for-1. That's way better than what it could have been. They could have even taken the tower. But since Santos is getting hungry and trying to kill me, they're not getting this for free. I'm missing a lot, but constantly using my movement ability and stuns to keep them away from me, I get out for free. Now, in a similar situation, the Poseidon got over here first. Now, I'm going after the on her because he's a high priority target. He's super low, and he just blew up my Circuit. But he used his jump, and now he's gone. Make sure Poseidon's down, needs the ults in. Now I wait for my cooldowns to come down. Bam, bam. That's a 3-for-1. Now for objectives. Now usually you want to have your hunter or your support go in and tank this, but since they're not there at this point, I start tanking it to get it done as fast as possible, leading it off to my Osiris, my jungler. Now you want to save up for till the end so you can use most of your burst spells. No matter who you are, your burst spells are how you're going to take this, and this is one of the easiest secures in the game. Now, thank God we did it there, because if we didn't, that Rama would have stolen it with his ultimate. Now, with the team fighting, you want to use your AoEs on as many targets as possible, in most fights. And then it's all about target prioritization. I go on the Ymir, because I'm pretty sure the Xing Qin's going to get the kill on this Sobek, but he doesn't. So then I turn on to the Sobek, then going back onto the Ymir. Now, since you're a squishy target, you usually want to stay in the back of the fights, trying to make sure you don't get CC'd. Now that we got those 2 kills, they didn't get a Gold Fury, which is awesome. I'm just kind of holding out because I don't want to go back to base. But he thinks he can take me. So I put down my Whirlpool and I just go ham on him, taking on another high priority target. Now we start up with Gold Fury here. Previously, like I was telling you, we let the support tank it and we want the hunter to tank it. And I'm just putting damage on. I'm trying to save some of my abilities and I waste my Whirlpool doing it way too early. And they get the Gold Fury for my mistake. But now that the Ymir's down, he got CC'd out. I put down a Whirlpool in case the Apollo wants to get out. But I put it also so I got the Neath. Now, since all that's left is this Neath, I hit her with the ult and then start fighting her and burning her down. We get the Apollo in the back line because of a Circuit poison, and that's how we win the fight. Thank you for watching our Smite guide to the mid lane. Now, if you have more comments or more questions, post them in the bottom and we'll answer as many as we can. Thank you for watching. Good luck in the mid lane and on your rotation.